Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly. If you guys don't know me, I am a flight attendant for a major US airline, and I wanted to welcome you to my channel. Guys, the airline industry has been so opened and so wide and open to like new applicants. It is so exciting. I keep making these videos and I get so excited that you guys may be the next applicant that moves forward in the process of being an amazing flight attendant. Now with that said, you guys, guess who is hiring? Jetblue. Jetblue is hiring. It's been a few days now, so I've been working on this video, trying to get this video out on time. The good thing about them is they are open for a few days. It's not like Southwest where they're open for a few hours and they close. So you guys have a little bit more time, but don't wait. Please submit that application. If you don't have that application, you need to contact me now. I can make that application stand out. Make sure we have the perfect wording in there and make sure that it moves to the very top so that you guys can be called and get that interview that you've always wanted. So make sure that you go to www.flywithshelly.com to book your session now. I can also train you and to help you interview and get ready for your interview that's coming. I can tell you exactly what they're going to ask you, how to answer the questions, what they're expecting, and with my help, I'm going to help you get that dream job. Now let's talk about JetBlue, you guys. They are hiring right now, like I said, and there's a few things you need to know before you apply. All right, I want to make sure that you have all the documentation ready, and I also want you to know what it is that they're expecting of you. What is a position summary? It's really important to know that because not only your resume must reflect those certain words here, but also you know what they're expecting. And by me going through this, it's going to help you also for the interview because then you know what they're expecting of you. So I like kind of going through that. I'm getting that from their website under in-flight crew trainee, and then you can get that also when you're applying if you do take the time to read it, but I'm going to summarize it for you so you don't have to read it and spend all that time. All right, guys, so what do you need to be a flight attendant? Obviously, you need a passport, so make sure your passport is valid and up to date. Don't wait to get it updated. I've been saying this in every video, and people still do ask me. They're like, Shelly, my passport's expired next month. Should I still apply? No, you need to have it ready before you apply, so remember that. So make sure that your passport is valid for at least 12 months, for the next 12 months, so at least a year, okay? So if it expires in a year, you're fine. If it expires before that, they may not approve you. So if you are, you know, your interview is going good, your application is good, everything is going good, then you're like, I don't know why they didn't approve me. It's also, it could be because of your passport, so be careful with that. You have to be at least 20 years of age, you guys. So make sure when you apply, you are 20 already. You must be able to reach a 25-inch in height. So as you are reaching out for that bin, you can reach up to 25 inches in height. Training is about 4 weeks, you guys, and your training will be in Orlando. MCO. Yes, you will have to learn some codes, you guys. So MCO is definitely a great place to be, especially if you are going to be training around winter time. I don't know when your training will be, but the turnaround is very quick now. I've had people apply literally on Monday and getting called today, which is Thursday. So you could see like within a few days, they're already getting applicants to start, you know, interviewing and setting up appointments for the interview. So Orlando it is, you guys. Go, go, go. You're gonna have a great time, great weather on your days off. Obviously, I expect you to study, but you can always enjoy Universal. And there's so much to do in Orlando. I'm jealous. My base was in Orlando too. My training was in Orlando. I absolutely loved it. No visible tattoos, you guys. Very important. We already know that. If you have them, that's great. Enjoy them, but do not show them. Hide them as much as you can. They must be covered at all time, like I said. The crew base, you guys. So let's see if you live close by those bases. You may not get them depending, obviously, on your seniority. The more senior you are, the better chances you are to have your base when you put in for it. But they will either assign you to Orlando. Right now, they are hiring for Orlando, you guys. All right, because they've united with Spirit Airlines, you guys. Spirit's main base is MCO. And now MCO, which is Orlando, and they are looking to fill those positions, and they're needing flight attendants for Orlando, so they are hiring. So as soon as you go for training for this go around, their first priority is to fill that base. So Orlando will be filled first. So chances are you will get that base. All right. So if you guys live far from Orlando, you know, you live in California, for example, it is a long flight. You're looking at a good 4 to 5 hour flight. That's without a connection. So just expect to have a long flight to go to work, and you have to go there the day before. There's no way you can go there the day of. So expect a commute, a long commute the day before. You can kind of hang out in your crash pad and start working the next morning. That's what I did for a few years. I loved it, because, you know, I always try to look at the positive of things. It was my mommy time, but I don't know if you guys are okay with that, but just make sure that you know that that's what's expected. There's also Newark, EWR, that could possibly be your base as well. If not, then eventually you can always transfer there. There's Boston, BOS. If you guys live close to Boston, great. If you don't, you may be redirected to that base. Once the base is filled in MCO, they will probably send you in one of those bases. There's also JFK. If you are familiar with JFK, it's a very crazy base. It's mainly the connection to a lot of international destinations. So those are crazy, crazy areas to be at. But especially if you have a crash pad too, which I'm sure can be fun, but it could be very expensive too. So just take that in mind compared to Orlando, which is a lot cheaper to stay if you want to reside or have a crash pad. LAX is also a busy base, but they have... they may send you there, or you may have the option to transfer if you don't like your base within a few months. I'm sure you can transfer to LAX. FLL, which is Fort Lauderdale. There's also a base in Fort Lauderdale. So if you guys are in the Florida area, you'll have an option between Fort Lauderdale and Orlando, which is great because they're about 3-hour difference drive time. So you could always go from one or the other. Your starting pay. All right, you guys are ready. It'll be $21.85. It's on the lower scale, I would say, from other airlines, but I think you do kind of go up in salary pretty quick. So $21.85 is not so bad as a start pay. They do have a monthly guarantee of 75 hours, which is mainly the number that most airlines have. But they just announced that they will raise the pay by 5% beginning in November. So I did hear that rumor. You guys may get a pay increase, so that $21.85 may not be, you know, the number that may still be by the time you watch this video, November 2023. It might go a little bit higher, but I'm hoping for you guys for the best. I hope it is. So you guys, this airline is very different from other airlines. And now, as you know, I do work for a major US airline, and I've worked for a couple of them already. But what sets Jetblue apart is that they have different things that you guys may not be familiar with, which I want to kind of cover. They do offer Mint. Okay, you're going to be like, what's Mint? So Mint is kind of like a first class service, which is like when you are flying, I don't know, Delta or American Airlines, you know how you have your first class area, you have your little, you know, curtain, and you get service that it's like VIP. So they have the Mint service, which kind of offers that service on that carrier, which is pretty cool. Because we've never seen that before, right? Not with the low-cost carriers, you guys. So it's pretty exceptional. We are now flying to Paris, you guys. First class international. That's pretty cool that JetBlue's offering that. And that they're going to expand, but it's pretty exciting knowing that you can actually go international with a low carrier, which is awesome. Like, think about it. You get the chance to go to Paris now. You don't have to be working for Delta or American in order to go that far. So that's pretty cool. If you're interested in that, that's definitely the way to go. They started going to Europe, you guys, in 2021 already. I remember hearing about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's interesting, but they were just talking about it. Now, since 2021, they started, and it's just been amazing. I think the success rate has been incredible, and I'm pretty sure they're going to start expanding to other areas in Europe, which is so awesome. Also, as you all know, you guys, their core value is fun. We hear that all the time. I've been to their interview process, and I remember they really emphasized on the word fun. Everything was fun from the minute you walked into the last minute where you left. Everybody was smiling. Everybody had a great time. They know how to welcome you, make you feel wanted and appreciated. So just know that going into this interview, guys, it is fun, and they want you to remember that this airline is about fun as well. Now, that's one of their core values, which is kind of rare because most core values are very like intense, you know. JetBlue Airways instead of JetBlue Airlines. As someone that I do resume a lot, I like to make sure that I correct those mistakes. So if you are applying, just make sure that you use the word airways, not airlines. Really important. Now, they have over the years trying to drop the whole airways and try to put the airline, but you want to keep it as it is right now. So just keep the airways. So if you are applying or wanting to address them in any way, just make sure that you use the word airways as opposed to airline. Now, JetBlue does have some main core values. We did talk about fun earlier, which is one of their values, but let's talk about their other values. They value safety. They also value caring. Okay, they value passion. They also value integrity and, of course, fun. So make sure that you, if you are going to an interview, that you master those core values and understand them and could probably apply them or see how parallel they are to your own. Okay, really important so that when you do go to that interview, you can kind of relate to those values that they have. All right, guys, so once you submit your application, it's online. It's done by me, of course. Remember, flywithshelly.com. I'm going to make sure that we use those core values and relate them to your experiences. I can do your resume and have it looking amazing, you guys. Once they see it and they like it and they're like, hey, you need to come up and we need to do an assessment. So they are going to be asking you questions regarding that. So make sure you keep an eye on that assessment and make sure that you answer them to perfection. If you need any help, again, hire me and I will help you with that. Remember, you guys, this is a great airline to be working for. Again, you have the opportunity to fly international, which is unheard of. Salary is going to be increased, which is awesome too. And I'm sure you get extra pay because you are going international. So not only are you getting a base pay, but you're getting international pay, you're getting per diem. And I'm sure they're not just flying you for the day. You're there on a layover as well. I don't know the details too much because obviously I don't work for the airline, but you are going to be treated like royalty. They are great. You do have to work. This doesn't come easy. You may have to clean the planes afterwards too. Some airlines you don't. There is a crew that comes in. I heard prior to them merging that JetBlue had to clean their own planes. If that's something that you don't want to do or your back hurts and you know this is not something you want to be bending for every seat, just expect that because that is part of your job description as well. Just so you know, FYI. All right. Okay, let's go back to your experience and qualification. Again, high school diploma or GED, the equivalent, and they want you to be at least 20 years old. We said that. 1 year of customer service. They will look into your resume and see how many years you have. You have to have accomplished successfully the assessment online. So make sure that you know what to expect. They will ask you to complete that and you need to pass it, obviously, for you to move forward. You must demonstrate proficiency in reading, writing, and English speaking. And if you are bilingual, meaning Spanish for bilingual role, you will have a leg up, okay? I just finished training someone this morning. Frankie, this is for you. I also let him know that because he was bilingual, you have a little advantage. They've also added that they want you to prove that you have the ability to remain calm during a stressful situation. Well, that goes without saying, you guys, you are there to make sure that prove that you are calm in that situation. Now, your vision must be corrected at 20/20. They won't accept anything less, so make sure that you have correctors, whether it's glasses or you have contacts on. Okay, they want to make sure that you successfully complete your training. That goes without saying. Every year we have our renewal of our license that takes place around the time that we are hired. So every year you will be tested, which is called a recurrent, and they want to make sure that you pass your recurrent every year or else you can lose your license. So very important that you prepare for your recurrent every year so that you're still fresh with your command and you don't forget them. They also want to make sure that you fit quickly through the over wing exit. So that means you can go in and out really fast. You don't need to take your time. Okay, that means you're proportional is what they're trying to say. Again, you need to be able to sit in a jump seat comfortably without any extensions. All right, so when you are putting your seatbelt, you should not need extension in order to sit there. Able to reach 6 feet and 3 inches without any shoes, and you're able to be away from home 5 to 6 nights consecutive. So it's really important you understand that. You may be gone the entire week. If you are thinking that you're going to be gone 1 to 3 days a week, like some airlines, for example, Southwest, their shift is basically 3 days in a row. Unfortunately for this airline, if that's what you're hoping, then go with Southwest. If you want to be home every single night, I do recommend for you guys to apply to Allegiant Air, which is also regional, but they do travel kind of like the day and always come back to base every single night. So if this is the type of schedule you want and you want to be home with your family every night, definitely go with them. But if you're going with a JetBlue, you guys, it's 5 nights to 6 consecutive days gone, and that is also because they have internationals. You guys, when they have internationals, it takes a day to 2 days to get somewhere, and then you have your layover, and it takes a day to 2 to come back. So it's only understandable that you will be gone at least 6 days a week. You have to also be able to push and pull cart that are going to be weighing approximately between 250 pounds and more. Just understand that you are pushing huge, large carts. If you do not want to push any carts, you guys stay away from this airline, and just go with Southwest. Southwest, everything is manual. We carry the tray. We have all of our drinks on the tray. All the snacks are carried. And so if that's something better for you, then definitely go with Southwest. But if you guys cannot push or pull a cart that's about 250 pounds, then this is not the airline for you. You also must adhere to their uniform. So it's important, I have to make sure that you wear the shoes that they want you to, with the heel height that they want you to, the nylon color that they want you to, their uniform. All right, you can't just bring your own clothes. And then there's going to be a scarf, so make sure that you use their scarf as well. And then there's also flares and earrings, and you're gonna have to adhere by their rules, so just remember that. Also expect crazy schedule, like they were saying, holidays, weekends. There's also evenings, last minute drafting is what they call it. So just expect to be on call all the time, at their mercy, at their beck and call. Just because you are starting out, you guys, you start at the bottom, so you're at their mercy for a little while until it gets a little bit better. Usually within the first 5 years is dreadful for a lot of airlines, and a lot of us are not getting the base we want, we're not getting the schedule we want. But once we hit that 5 year, you guys, it's smooth sailing after that. You gain seniority pretty quickly. I hear that people that know 2 languages have a little bit of a privilege over other people. I've heard that even with their schedules, so just remember that. I might be wrong, but I remember talking to some people and they were talking to me and telling me how, because they master 2 languages, they were privileged in some areas. So like I said, this is just what I was told. I could be wrong, but I'm just kind of, don't quote me on that. But they felt a little more privileged because of it. So when you are notified, okay, to report to your assigned base, you're going to be given 2 hours to show up to these 3 following bases, you guys: Boston, BOS, Fort Lauderdale, and MCO. So FLL and MCO, which is Orlando. So Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, and Boston, you have 2 hours to report. You're gonna have 2 hours and 45 minutes to report if you are at the Newark base, JFK base, and LAX base. And the reason for that is because of traffic. I'm absolutely 100% sure that's why. Florida, Boston, and MCO, I think 2 hours is their norm. Any other base, the other 3 that I mentioned, they give you about 2 hours and 45 minutes to arrive, and to report. And again, when it comes to passport, you guys, make sure you have a minimum of 12-month validity, okay? Which means your passport is good until next year. If it isn't, don't apply. They're very, very, very picky about that because they want to make sure that it's valid throughout your training, because once you graduate, you don't have time to fill out forms and apply for a passport because you're starting to work right away after training. And also you want to be able to do your recurrent within that year, and you want to be able to travel. So they want, like, as soon as you are done with training, you are starting to fly, you are using that passport. Make sure it is not expired, okay? And it's not expiring for another year, okay? If it's expiring in 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, they will not hire you. Okay, it has to be expiring at least within a year so that you have time to renew it when you start working. You have to also be able to pass a 10-year background check, okay? And a pre-employment drug test, which they will test you. You have to be legally eligible to work in the country, and you have to be authorized to work in the US, okay? This position is not available or eligible for people with a visa sponsorship. So if you're being sponsored and you have a temporary visa or a visa, it is not eligible. They will not allow you. And I think because of that, I think it's also because of the international destination that you guys are going to be going to. They're not allowing people that are visa sponsored. So if you are, you cannot apply with the Jetblue. Now, what's going to make your application kind of pop to the top more than other people? Their preferred experience and qualification is actually a bachelor degree. So again, we talked about second language. If your second language is Spanish, you totally have an advantage on a lot of people. And I saw that firsthand when I went to interview, okay? So I can talk out of experience on that one. Also, bachelor degree, okay? If you have a bachelor degree, you're gonna be, boop, one little hair ahead of everyone else. If you have 1+ year of customer service, especially in sales, that's really important, okay? So that's gonna help you kind of move to the top with your application. Also, if you can show proof that you've worked without any supervision in your past experience, work experience, it's also gonna give you a legs up. So for example, if you were a flight attendant in the past, no flight attendants really have a boss. So you're kind of showing that you can work without supervision, okay? Now there's other jobs that you do that you don't need supervision. The less supervision you have in a job, the more likely that they will push you to the top, okay? You have to possess a strong passion for customer service. You have to show that you're passionate. This is something you eat, love, and sleep, passionate customer service. You're really passionate about the job, and this is something you've done in the past. If you had prior emergency management experience, what that means is if you had experience in medical training, in law enforcement, or military background, they really, really, really love that. You know, also, like I said, flight attendants that have had experience as a flight attendant, it kind of will help you also move to the top. Because again, those are jobs that don't need supervision, you're under pressure, and you need to think quick on your feet, and they love that. Now, what do they expect out of their crew members? Okay, what are they expecting from you? Well, what they expect is for your attendance and punctuality to be right on time. Okay, make sure your attendance, you do not miss work, you don't miss training, and you're not late. It's really important. They're very keen on that. People that are late do not make it in this industry. So just try to make sure that if you do live an hour away from the airport, you know, and you know there's traffic, leave 2 hours. Like, don't take that chance, because if you're a no-show or if you're late a few times, especially when you're on probation the first 6 months, you will not make it in this industry. They will fire you. Okay. Also, going back to the base pay, you guys, you are going to start off, like I said, at $21.85. Just understand that your highest pay throughout your career will be $53.46 per hour. Okay, so you have the opportunity to move up to $50 an hour within XYZ amount of years. I'm guessing 15 plus, all right? It could be less than that, but I'd have to look at the chart. They do incorporate healthcare benefits. They do have a 401k plan. And then they company match as well. You can purchase stocks, short-term and long-term disability coverage. So they do have that in case you do get injured on the job. They do have basic life insurance. If you're on JetBlue, you can travel, you and your family, no problem. And you can also fly on any other airline if you'd like. And that's it, guys. I hope this was informative. I am so excited for you guys to apply. Hurry up and apply. I know this video is kind of late. I've been trying to work on it for the last couple of days and I've been interrupted, but hopefully this comes out to you guys and you're able to just apply. Again, I could do your resume and I can help you with your interviews to make sure that you guys get your dream job. It is hard to begin with. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of studying. It's a lot of commitment for the first 4 weeks because you're away from your job. You're barely getting paid. You're away from your family, from your loved ones, from your kids, from everyone that you know. You're kind of isolated for 4 weeks, intensive 4 weeks. So right, they are training you. But just know that after you are done, you guys, you have so much freedom. This job is amazing. You get paid to sleep, to eat, to travel. It is a great job, but you know, there are sacrifices to be made in order to get there. So just be patient and go get it. Go get that job, because I'm talking out of experience. Once you have that bug in you, you cannot get that plane and that bug out of you. All right, you need to fly, you need to travel, and that is my life, and I absolutely love my life now. So all right, guys, again, flywithshelly.com, book your session. I'll help you with your resume and we can go over some Q&As, and again, book an hour, you guys. Anything under then, because I do offer 30 minutes, I can't really cover much in 30 minutes. Sometimes I try to talk really fast so you can get as much information, but I try to book about an hour minimum, so we can review some of the things that you need in order to succeed with your upcoming interview. All right, guys, good luck with Jetblue. Comment down below if this was informative. Tell your friends, make sure to give me a thumbs up, all right? And share this video, all right? Tell everybody, tell the world that they are hiring, you guys. Give it a try. Good luck and hope to see you in the skies.